dog's come to join us. Hello, Twinkle.
Hey, monkey.
Good evening, everybody. Hello, guys. Welcome back to my channel. Today, I am joined once again by Maria.
It's me.
And Twinkle, but she is around. We decided that we're going to have a glass of wine each and we are going to give advice. So on Instagram I put a question sticker on my story asking for your scenarios for us to advise you on. I don't know what makes me think we're qualified to do this.
We're absolutely
we're really not. We're messes.
This is going to be terrible. Or maybe we could come up with some genius.
Right. Genius by our standards though. We quite often say to each other, you know what, I think we might be geniuses.
I'm a genius! And it'll just be ridiculous.
So take everything we say with a pinch of salt, obviously. Over on Maria's channel we're also going to continue with probably more wine.
Yeah, more wine and a
with
Q&A.
Q&A. Oh, I just picked up the remote thinking it was my phone.
Sure.
Lovely. We're off to a really good start.
Excellent start, well done.
Okay, let's ease people in. Some of these questions, you guys, you're in some situations.
Ooh, what have we got?
But first of all, let's start off fairly tame.
Okay.
How to make friends when I'm starting a new job. I'm quite a shy person. Personally, I haven't started a new job in a long time.
Yeah, no, neither have I.
However, I have moved to a new city.
Mm.
And I think those situations are comparable.
Yeah.
I managed to make some friends.
Me.
I think that the thing to do is that when you're starting a new job, you need to remember that you are going into their space. The responsibility is on you to make the effort because they've probably already got their friends, they've already got their routine. You need to make yours.
Yeah. Talk to as many people as possible, actually.
Yeah.
Because if you don't talk to as many people as possible, you're not going to then naturally find the people that you get along with. But if you make an effort to talk to as many people as possible, then you're naturally going to find somebody that you get along with.
Yeah, I also think that, like, don't put loads of pressure on yourself to find friends immediately.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, one thing not to do is to not be,
Good.
negative or bitchy.
Yeah, don't. Just...
Like, even if someone else is, don't join in with them.
No, you don't
because
get that trap.
you don't know them, you don't want to fall into a trap, you don't know anything about the person that they're speaking about, presumably, because you're new at your job as well. So just be nice to everyone.
Yeah. And just, like, be nice, make an effort to introduce yourself to people, and naturally it should happen.
You know what? Sound advice.
Cheers to you.
Well done, everybody.
We're so good at this.
How do you tell a guy that you fancy him? You are asking the wrong people, my friend.
Absolutely. You couldn't have asked two worse people on this scenario. It's just, we can't give advice on this because...
That's all we talk about.
It entirely depends on the situation you're in. If they're already your friend...
If there's someone who's already in your life, it's a lot higher stakes.
You've really got to think about that. And we can't answer that because we can't do that ourselves.
Can't answer that. But I do think that the older I get, the more I'm like, just say it. Because I think the more that you... I am. You know I am. Stop looking at me like that. I nearly said it.
Yeah.
Do you not remember? I think you need to weigh up what will happen if you don't say it. Because if you're going to continue as a friend with this person, if you genuinely think you can get over it and just be friends with the person,
which I have actually,
and I think I have too. I think weigh up what will happen if you don't, because there are some friendships that you actually wouldn't hold on to. Like some people you think is your friend, but actually you're interested in them romantically, and once that gets taken away, you actually have no interest in being their friend. So I think, like, trying to weigh up whether it's that case, in which case you've got nothing to lose in telling them. And if they are genuinely your friend and you really like them and you don't want to lose the friendship, then I'm really sorry for your loss.
Sorry for your loss.
Really sad.
That's all we're going to say on the topic.
Advice! I feel like we're exposing more about us than about anything else now.
Which we shouldn't be doing.
That's not the point of the video. The next one, this one's a bit of a different direction. How to get onto the London property market.
I can't answer that because I'm not...
You know a lot about property.
I know a bloody lot about property. I make videos on Rightmove.
She does.
There's no doubt about it. You need to save your cash. And my advice, because I am somebody that wants to own property, I'm not saying a house, I want to own property within the next 2 years, and the only way that I feasibly can do that is by living at home.
Yeah.
So if you can do that, I would do that.
Being completely truthful, the answer to that is have the money.
Have the money.
And as crass as that sounds, and I don't know if crass is the right word there, but as much as like that's not the answer that you often hear from people online, because they're, you know, people like to beat around the bush. The answer is
you've got to
have the money.
You've got to save, and realistically, I wouldn't be able to save had I not been living at home. So I think that's an honest answer.
No.
There is no way I could save a deposit for a house or the things around buying a house had I not been living at home. So if you can live at home, there's nothing wrong with it.
No, definitely not. The only reason I was able to save as much money as I was before moving here is because I was at university, I was living off my student loan, and then I had 3, sometimes 4 jobs on top of that.
Saving the rest
and
of
I was
it.
saving all of that money, and if not, I wouldn't have been able to move here.
But
so I'm not saying that that's the only way to do it, but like the only way to do it is to have the money.
Yeah.
Okay.
Advice.
Don't
Advice!
know when this became the tradition, but here we are.
It is, actually.
How do I make it clearer I fancy women without compromising how fabulous I am?
So this is from a man.
So this is, I assume, from a man.
Okay.
Who is straight, but thinks that
or fancies women.
or
and,
sure, but doesn't think that's how he comes across.
Well, you've just probably got to tell them then, haven't you?
I actually think if that's a problem, like if you're concerned about your mannerisms or whatever, making people think that you might not be straight, then they're not the people for you. Because those things don't determine your sexuality. That's ridiculous.
Exactly. And I think if it's a case of like, if somebody has friend zoned you because of the way you are, then that's probably not the correct relationship.
No, absolutely. But I do also think, like, on a very surface level, if you want to try and express to somebody that you're attracted in women when you think they might think that you're not, did I say attracted in women?
Possibly. The thing is, you don't have to tell people who you like.
No.
Like, there should be no expectation for you to like tell your sexuality to people.
No, of course not. But what I'm saying is, like, if that's a concern, if you want someone to know your sexuality, then tell them someone you fancy. Like,
just
be
like, I fancy Selena Gomez. I don't know why Selena Gomez came to my head. But you know, I think. All of a sudden, I looked over there and I just got this weird dizziness, and I was like, "Good."
Yeah.
Advice.
Advice.
Yay. Oh my god.
Okay, next one. Hey, what are your best anxiety tips, please, guys?
I actually think the other day I was very stressed about potentially having coronavirus, which I don't. I was imagining it.
She was very concerned.
I was very concerned, and when I was speaking about it, it made it better.
Yes.
And then I went on and filmed a bag unboxing, and I was fine.
Yeah.
So I think speaking to people actually.
I think speaking to people, and I also think just like allowing yourself to feel like that. I think quite often when you feel anxious, the first thing that you want to do is just ignore it, and actually sometimes that's really not the thing to do, especially at the moment with everything going on. Like, everything's really overwhelming, and I think the best thing to do is to just be really honest.
I do think the key is talking.
It definitely is.
It really
is. It's just being, as it is with most things, it's communication, isn't it? And it's explaining to people what's going on in your head, what if you know what the problem is, and what they can do to help you.
Advice.
My boss, who has known me since I was 17, has asked me on a date 3 times. I've said no each time, but it's really awkward because it's such a small company. I'm so sorry, for starters. That's so awkward, and he really shouldn't be putting you in that position as your boss. Like, that's really unprofessional. Depending on how you feel about it.
Have you got a HR person?
That's exactly what I was going to say, and I know it seems like you're escalating it, but like
small company. I mean, every company should have a HR person, right?
Yeah.
I don't know much about offices.
I think they do. I think speak to someone from HR, even if you say like, look, I don't want to. I assume you don't want to make a big fuss if it's a small company, but even if you say like, I don't want to make a big fuss, but this is really bothering me, then that's completely fair enough. Alternatively, if the company is small enough, and if you have like an existing relationship with this person, I don't mean romantically, but like as your boss or friend or whatever, I think you might be able to say to them, look, can you stop that? It's making me really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And then if they persist,
yeah.
take
And
it to
also,
HR.
like, you've already turned him down 3 times.
That's enough time.
So that's on him.
Yeah.
Like, you've done what you need. You could have just said no once, and that should have been fine.
That should have
That's
been
then
more than
on
enough.
him.
And also, you're right. The thing that is really
Assuming that it's
uncomfortable about this, I think they said it was.
Okay.
The thing that is really uncomfortable about this is the fact that, no, they didn't actually say the gender of the boss, but we have been assuming that it's a man because we live in a patriarchal society. I just think it's, first of all, like, it's very, very wrong of him. First of all, as somebody who I assume is a lot older than you,
Yeah, he's
and
a boss.
second of all, as somebody in a position of power, it's an abuse of that power to, if you feel in any way manipulated into going on a date with him.
If it was one time, it might be okay, because it might be that there was a mutual thing there.
Maybe he thought.
But you've turned that down, so...
I think if you're looking for advice, the thing to do is make a conscious effort to make it very clear that you are shutting it down. I'm not saying you haven't done that already, obviously I don't know the situation.
We don't know.
And if he's not listening, or if you don't feel like you feel comfortable doing that, then escalate it and take it to HR.
Yeah, I think HR is the best route to go, to be honest.
Yeah.
I finished my wine,
Me
so
too.
advice. Twinkle the dog's actually snoring.
Oh yes, if you can hear
I
Twinkle
love
snoring.
that. So I had one that came through, which was more advice based.
Yeah,
And it
rather
was-
than for the Q&A. Which
Yeah,
is really
it was. I'm obsessed with my sister's boyfriend. Help me. I just think you've got to stop that.
I'm sorry, you've got to
squash stop that
straight away.
right now.
That's advice.
Advice.
Lovely. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for coming.
Head over to Maria's channel for another glass
The
of wine
Q&A,
and a
because
Q&A.
we're filming that Q&A now.
Yeah. Why are you looking at me like you're asking me the question?
No, we're filming it now, and there's more. That made so much sense.
Right. Brilliant. Okay.
Brilliant.
Well, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed.
Hope you got some advice.
Hopefully we've helped. We probably haven't.
Probably haven't.
We'll do another video probably in a couple of weeks.
Oh, we'll do so many.
Stay tuned for that.
Wine gives me indigestion.
Subscribe if you haven't already. Subscribe to Maria. Give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it so we know to make more like this.
We're going to anyway.
We're probably going to anyway. Lovely.
Advice.
Thanks for coming. Advice. Bye.
Bye.